Hello, everybody. My name is Alexander Morari. I'm the founder of ITKeyMedia. You've tuned into our podcast about Central Eastern European startups. And today's guest is Róża Janusz, the founder or co-founder, should I say, of a company called MakeGrowLab, based in Puławy, Poland. Hello, Róża.
Hello, Alex.
Yes,
Hello,
I saw
everyone.
you know the rules of the game more or less. Are you ready to hustle? Let's move on.
Yeah, go on.
Round number one, the company. Tell us about the company name and the founding team.
MakeGrowLab is a platform of growing new materials. So at MakeGrowLab, we make less and we grow more with the microbes. So our point is to stop just take things from nature, stop dig for oil, stop cut trees, but actually grow much faster the products we need, all packaging, textiles. That's why we called MakeGrowLab. I am a co-founder. The other co-founder of the company is Josh Brito.
Yes, okay, interesting. Interesting you mentioned that the company is actually a platform of growing new materials. Let's try to unfold this in the future round. And as for now, what about the team right now? I understand the founding team is two people, you and Josh. And what about the team beyond founders? Do you have lots of people right now? What are the recent team building successes that you've had?
We established a year ago. Until then, for around a year, we just collaborated with institutions, part-time employees, but right now, we're actually growing to full-time team.
And could you a little bit elaborate on the roles of the people that you plan to have in the team?
We plan to have engineers and biologists to actually lab faster and more efficient, and as well operations.
Let's move on to round two, product and sales, okay?
As I said in the beginning, we are growing my platform. So we have materials in our offer. Our base material is a packaging material, which we call SCOBY packaging. And amazing about that is this type of polymer is actually a cellulose. So cellulose compound known from paper we all use. But as you see, it doesn't look like paper, so it's translucent. And it also airtight. So actually the product inside, here it's a nut, is protected from the air. When we open the bag of nuts or chips, it's getting a very not pleasant for food. So that's why it's very important. The other product is a textile alternative, as we noticed that it's also a great need in searching for application or alternatives to plastic fossil fuels in textiles. And we noticed that actually the strength of the grown polymer, it's amazing and can be used also for the textiles itself. You can actually replace a lot of fossil fuels based additive also in foods, in cosmetics. So it's not only for the packaging use. Actually, it can be like a fossil fuel, like a base for a lot of industries. And our goal as a maker is to scale the production of polymer itself, allowed to use in many industries.
What about the current technology? How much of your material can you produce per month, let's say? And what's the relative price per square meter, square centimeter, depending on your advances, of course?
So in our smaller pilot, which we're extending now, we can produce around, let's say, to imagine for everyone, around 1,000 of packaging of 100-gram packaging. This is smaller, so that would be like maximum, I would say, a couple of thousands units if we have a partner who can actually seal the packaging. But this mostly going to tests. To really scale up, we need around 2-3 years. to go to market.
Yeah, so more or less 1,000 tea bag size packages, right? Or packaging units that you are basically sending out to potential clients for testing. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Now, what about the patent side? Do you feel this is patentable, or you applied already? What's the situation on that? How would you be able to defend this, especially having in mind that you're sending this out to lots of, I understand, conglomerates or international companies as well, for whom to copy paste probably would not be that difficult a challenge. I hope I'll be wrong, but tell me more detail.
Yeah, we applied for the patent, and we had on our pipeline more. So this is just the time frame problem. We have to wait.
Yes. Okay. So patent is pending. Great. Thanks. Let's move on to round 3, the competitive landscape. Tell us more about the competition right now. You can give names, exact names, or descriptively, and of course, how do you plan to beat them?
In the alternative polymers, companies are actually growing a lot recently because there's a big need. So there are propositions to make alternatives to plastic from algae, from mushrooms, let's say from paper as well itself, but it's all, we all have different properties. So let's say algae might be better if you want to make a sachet which you want to dissolve in water. Our sachet won't dissolve in water. So I believe we all gonna go to market in similar time, as we are like similar stage companies. But our advantage is that it actually can be grown anywhere. And we don't need a sea to grow some kind of an algae. We not harvest anything. We're using to actually grow this cellulose, we're not taking trees, we're not taking cotton, we're not taking bamboo, we're taking the food waste or production waste, which is everywhere on the world. And it can be different types of the production, as the platform is adapted to many sources. So that's the competition. But also as I said, we all working on something a bit different.
Let's move on to round 4, companies' ups and downs. All right. So what would you say were your biggest ups and downs by now, first?
So in the first half of the year, the biggest up was that we actually get funding from EU, which allows now us to really plan the future and employ new team members. And it was like we were very motivated and ready to go, but the pandemic happened, so we had to reschedule a lot of things, including team growth and some of the projects. So the pandemic, probably for many startups, that would be down. For us as well, but it might turn around, and it might happen that that the situation we are in, it's a great background for new ideas.
Yeah, and by the way, lots of startups were impacted, of course, by COVID situation. Some of them benefited, especially those, on the e-commerce and kind of online activity side. But for those who have been going from big to bigger trouble during this COVID time, what would be your piece of advice to the founding team, if you could, of course? I know it's not easy, but anyways, what would you suggest, advise fellow founders?
Maybe what I had to advise to myself every day is keep calm. Don't do very rapid moves, because in the situation of such an unknown, I had thoughts like what's gonna happen? Is it gonna be possible now? How we gonna change our style of work or our style of plans of supply chain, for example? So that was the moment of risk. So I would say I would advise what I advised myself, to keep calm.
Okay, thanks a lot, Dan. Let's move on. Round number 5, the F3 formula, funding for the future. But before future, let's see, what was your funding history by now? If you could give us more details. Bootstrapped, funded externally, or only grants and grants?
A little bit of bootstrap, little bit of grants, little bit of competition. It's actually a little bit of everything. We definitely talking with investors as well, to see the possibilities, talking with clients that might be investors as well, because they need a product. So little bit of everything.
Who would be your target VC funds, and what amounts would you be looking for, and how soon, basically? That could be interesting for the potential investors who would watch this.
We would love to get related with the VCs that actually had in their portfolio biotech companies or had any experience in that field, as well interested in replacing fossil fuel market. About the amount, we really open for the propositions because there might be different options. And with our business plan, we can really also manage the necessity of the capital. So to sum up, we also, not only the number is important, but mostly why they want to invest in us.
What would be the key areas that you would like to dedicate the financial resources to in the first, let's say, 6 to 12 months?
Making a pilot with the partner, which is manufacturer partner, because we definitely, many can be done in R&D sector. Many things could be improved with the investment. But we could be really ready as well to test it on a scale of with manufacturers, which we need capital for as well.
Yeah, okay, thanks, Róża. So let's have a quick wrap up. Today we had as our guest a Polish startup called MakeGrowLab, and one of its co-founders, Róża Janusz. The company is in full speed mode with its R&D of biodegradable packaging materials, targeting a number of industries, as a matter of fact. To scale and grow globally, they will be planning to start their seed round, and this should be smart money from investors that know biotech and can contribute to the company scaling up. Thank you very much. If you like what you saw today, subscribe, follow, share. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more videos from us. See you guys next time. Bye-bye. All the best.